How you doing?
It's afternoon where I am.
So you're
I'm
in.
great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm in Slidell, Louisiana, so it's a little of New Orleans.
I was assuming that you were in Colorado. That sounds great.
I will be, yeah, I go back and forth. So I will be in a couple weeks after my next show here, then I'll go back to Colorado. I'd
Awesome.
much rather be in Colorado for the heat.
It is getting hot, isn't it?
It's painful. It's like 3 showers a day kind of heat. Yeah.
So, how long have you been in Colorado?
Oh, almost 20 years. So I went to school there. I had bands there. My daughter lived there too. Yeah, I love it there. It's really, I have two homes, one in the swamp, one in the mountains.
Well, what a difference that is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's total extremes.
So, part of the year you're in Louisiana. What do you do when you're in Louisiana? Are you performing a lot when you're just down south?
Well, I'm enjoying family first and foremost. I'm really close with my parents and helping to take care of them. Also, I just started a band down here with my drummer because usually he played in Colorado with me. So the first show of Liquid Animal here in New Orleans is going to be May 28th. I'm really excited. Carrollton Station. Do you
Nice.
know that one? It's an old club, and I played there when I was a kid in my high school band. So this is going to be a full circle.
Yeah, isn't that funny how that happens in life? You just like you're coming back to where it all started. So where it all started for you was you grew up in Louisiana. When did your first interest in music start?
Well, honestly, I started singing really young, like 7 years old, maybe even younger, in the choir. So I was just thrown into it and, thrown on stage and singing at all the functions. I was like the girl who could sing. So I was always singing. And then the boy that tortured me in grammar school, when he got to high school, asked me to be in his high school band. And that's how it worked out. That I started in a rock and roll band in high school. And then it's when I started writing too. So
How did that
I guess
feel
I have to
though?
thank the annoying one. We're all still in touch and still joke with each other. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, how did that feel though, with like somebody who was like kind of torturing you, bullying or whatever, like all of a sudden is wanting you to be in a band. We were like a little bit jarred at first, I would think.
Well, it's telling for me. He ended up being my boyfriend.
That is so weird.
That's how I do.
That's funny. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I fell in love with him. He was a guitarist and we were playing in the garage, garage band. We played a lot of U2, and I don't know if you know the song Bad, but
Oh
once we
yeah.
played Bad together, I was in. So I was all the way in.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and
well over
music too.
you too.
I really fell in love with music. Like the rock and roll, the writing aspect, the playing live aspect of it. That was the night. And that in that garage playing Bad that was the one.
How was it though? Just you knew how to sing. You were just like, who did you listen to? Was it just in your house, or was it stuff that you heard on the radio? How did you know that you were like, yeah, I could really do this?
Um, Honestly, everybody else was telling me I could do it first. And that's kind of a strange position to start from. I myself, it took me years. I studied so many singers. Like Billie Holiday is my favorite. I've studied her the deepest. Sarah Vaughan, Patsy
Oh,
Cline. I really spread it out because I love Janis Joplin, you know. I love Sean Colvin a lot. I mean, so I spread the spectrum. I want to learn every aspect of voice, and I study lots of singers that fascinate me, and I want to know how are they making that sound, and how would I make that sound in my own instrument. So yeah, it's been a long years of study. I mean, a long time. I'm really excited to show everybody around here what I've learned over the last 20 years, you know, and sing to people I sang to as a kid. So this is going to be fun.
oh, it's gotta be. Yeah, like you proved it. It's like, I've come around. I'm just like, amazed that people are now gonna see me. That's gotta be a really good feeling. Did you teach yourself the instruments? Did you teach yourself piano? And how did you do that? Were you able to just by watching others playing by ear, or did you have actual lessons?
I did have piano lessons first, and then I played drums. It's funny, my brother dragged me to play drums for him and his friends when I was really young. And then I played saxophone in the marching band in high school, St. Mary's Dominican. And then I picked up the guitar. And with guitar, that's a whole nother realm. So I learned from everyone. Like I would just sit down with friends and they teach me a chord or teach me this. I literally went to lessons to learn how to tune my guitar, and that was it. Then it was just real world. And that's been really exciting because I've gotten so much great advice. I've learned so much from other writers, other players. That's how to do it, I think.
Muddy Waters was a big influence as well.
Oh yeah, and I actually got to play at the club when I was young in my high school band. I remember that like it was yesterday. It's like this. It had this huge roof that went up, and then there was a second story. And when you sang, it was like you were singing in a church. Your voice just it was unreal. Yeah, so definitely inspired.
Yeah, yeah. So going back to Colorado, so as you were getting older, what made you go out to Colorado? It was just like you heard it was just beautiful, very scenic. You have a lot of inspiration from being out in Colorado.
Honestly, I probably would have lived the rest of my life here, but I have a daughter. She's 27 now,
Hmm.
and her father decided to move out to Colorado, and I knew she needed to be with her dad. I mean, they were thick as thieves. They're both Native American. They
Cool.
need to be together. So I made that sacrifice, and I said, well, yeah, I'd much rather her be with her father and have him in her life than I guess following my own path. So I had to, create a whole new world over there. But it was worth it. I ended up going to CU Boulder and getting my degree and working 15 years as a hearing specialist there. I mean, I had have a great life there.
Yeah, it looks and it's so beautiful and so inspirational and scenic. You play at a club, is it called Dazzle? That's I've seen a lot of clips online where you're doing a lot of the stuff live.
Yeah, yeah, I played Dazzle. I played it when it was at its old location in my jazz when I had a jazz band. I had a jazz band in Denver called Me and the Satellites for a bit. And then it moved, and I just played it recently with Liquid Animal. And it's a great club. It really is. And they treat you really well. So it gets a thumbs up as far as clubs go.
Yeah, it's got to feel very comfortable. You're able to really just feel at home there. It seems like a great crowd or all the songs that you have on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we did have a great crowd. I'm really blessed to have people around me that really support me, like really support my writing, really support my music. I mean, my drummer Eddie Christmas. I mean, he's like the most famous drummer around here, and he played on my album, and he's like, "I'm there for you," no matter what. And I'm like, "What? I don't know where to put that. I don't have a pocket." That's just so wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's great to have the creative people around you who are the driving force behind that. So You've been a solo artist and now you're in Liquid Animal. How did Liquid Animal come together, and where does the name come from?
Well, I mean, I realized, I mean, I am a writer, but in order to grow, you really need to collaborate. It has to be a collaboration. You need to be with other artists that are also creative in that way. So I was like, I need to create an artist collective where I'm playing with artists all over the place. You know, I'll play with artists in New Zealand since I did a little tour there, and I'll play with artists in Colorado, artists in New Orleans, and there's no lines anymore. So like you can just play with anyone. So Liquid Animal is an artist collective. And it comes from, did you see that movie, My Octopus Teacher?
I've heard of that.
It it
Yeah.
it was it got yes, it won accolades, but it was about this diver who befriended an octopus, and then he really learned from the octopus, and it was really an amazing story. You should, you know, if you get a minute, watch it. But he was describing the octopus as a liquid animal, and I was like, huh, well, wait a minute. If you think about it, we're all liquid animals. You know, all the humans, all the animals, we all have water in us, we all have liquid in us. And it's a way of like thinking, you know, we're all unified, we're all one. So that's really what liquid animal means. And then also, you know, I love water. I've always been crazy about water. If I could have passed biology for majors, I would have been a marine biologist.
I bet. Never too late.
But yeah, but you know, so maybe yeah, if I take it really slow, get a tutor. um, yeah, so also we want to, you know, bring light to the fact that the oceans are struggling so much. So that's also going to be part of our collective, is to help whatever animals in the ocean that need help, and then also help the ocean itself. You know, that's the big plan.
So you're mainly in Silverthorne. That's about 80 miles west of Denver, and there's a lot of aquatic life there, I would think. Is there a reservoir or a lake over there?
Yeah, there's still, it's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm super excited. Silverthorne, like there's Loveland over here, there's Keystone, there's Breckenridge, there's Copper. You know, you just go there on the road, river. So I'm constantly, my dog and I are always hiking the rivers. And then there's a beautiful, beautiful lake that people, you know, there's lots of boats, people boat. But my boyfriend got me one of those paddle boards.
Oh,
So when I get back this summer, my dog and I are going to be on our paddle board in
yeah.
Dillon Lake. We're so excited.
Yeah, I've done like the stand-up paddle boards. I went
Yeah.
down to Florida once and did that. Oh, I love doing that. What a great thing.
Yeah. It's got to
Yeah.
be so good for your core, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It
I'm
really
excited.
is.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you'll love that. You'll absolutely love that.
Yeah. And my dog loves water, so he's going to have a blast.
Neat.
Yeah.
So the recording catalog of Liquid Animal, how many albums out now? Backyard of My Mind, that's the latest single, or do you have another one that's current right now?
Um, Backyard of Mine is the first single that's come out. This is our first album that we recorded at Dockside Studios, which is in northern Louisiana, Maurice, which is around Lafayette, and it's just an amazing studio, totally magical. We did 10 songs there, and we're releasing the first 3 as singles, and then we're gonna release the whole album. So the first single was Backyard of My Mind, which I wrote for my grandparents. It's to immortalize them in my heart and my spirit with my voice. And I'm really proud of it. It's touched a lot of people. I have a lot of people that have, you know, been DMing me and texting me and saying, wow, your song made me cry. It made me think about my grandparents. And I was like, yes, because that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to connect and say, hey, I loved my grandparents so much. You know, and then here, you know, let me feel your love. And it's just great. The next one that's coming out right before my show on the 27th of this month is Pay the Rent, which has a history to it. I wrote it a long time ago before I moved to Colorado when my
Yeah.
daughter was really, really young. And we were in a little shotgun house, and I was struggling, and I couldn't pay the rent, right? I was struggling to pay the rent, and I couldn't afford for her to have her own little bedroom. And I felt terrible about it. And we ended up having to move back in with my ex, which, you know, was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be independent, I wanted to take care of myself.
You
So
want to do
I was
that.
frustrated. Pay the rent was it's got that, you know, I was just like, frustrated. And then when COVID came, I found I was like in the same position. You know, I had to move out of my house. I ended up getting divorced, which was horrible during the whole
Yeah.
situation. And then I was like, I'm right back there. I'm paying the rent. I'm struggling to pay the rent again. So I did another version of it. So I call it Pay the Rent 2021. And I put a new verse in there that's really showing my progression as a writer. And then also, you know, it's showing the progression of where we go, but then sometimes we end up in the same spot, you know?
Yeah.
So Pay the Rent's really it's like my theme song. Keep going.
Yeah, yeah, you do. And we all have to really use that as our theme song in a way too. And everything does come back full circle. Yeah, that's just life as, you know, that's
Right?
circle of life. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And I had to laugh. I was literally on the plane to Dockside Studios to record Pay the Rent. And I was like stressed about money. At that moment, I just took a moment and just laughed. I was like, here I am. How perfect. I'm going to go in there now. It was perfect irony. I think perfect ironies are hilarious sometimes.
So these songs is part of the new album. What's the name of the new album, and where can we all find it when it's all ready to go?
It is called Become. And that's the title song, which I actually wrote about, you know, about my divorce and that whole thing. And it's beautiful. And I also translated into Spanish because I just thought, wow, it's beautiful. It's even more beautiful in Spanish. I don't really know Spanish. I just
Oh, really?
like, ooh, this would be pretty in Spanish. Yeah. And then it's going to be, you know, it's going to be available everywhere. You can get it. You can get it off of the website for the record label, which is Bent River Records. And then also I'm going to have a website up, Liquid Animal, but you're going to be able to find it on Apple Music. That's a big place for us. And then Amazon, wherever you find digital, you'll find us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to know where we could get these wonderful songs. Your voice is really beautiful. You have so many clips on YouTube. Is there an actual Liquid Animal
Thank you.
YouTube page?
Um, there is there. You just hit Liquid Animal. You'll find us on YouTube. That's easy. I'm working on the website, so that'll be up soon too. And then you'll be able to link to whatever music you want to find too from there. I'm trying to just say Liquid Animal. You can remember that. That's easy.
Yeah, and then you go from there and easily people can find that. The catalyst behind Backyard of My Mind, it's really, I like is this wall of sound it has, the great violins. What else is the inspiration and the lyric components for that?
Oh wow. So did you listen to the Atmos version? Because it's in
Yeah,
Atmos as well. I wonder you. So it was. Oh wow. It was also mastered at Abbey Road. So I
yeah,
have
yeah.
two masters. I have
Okay.
a master from Abbey. Wow. You know, it was so amazing just coming out of Dockside, the sound that when it went to Abbey Road, I was like, huh, how much better could it be? And when I got it back, I was like, wow, that was amazing. And then we did Atmos, and I was like, how much better could it be? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's unreal. So I'm really proud of the sound, the sound, the wall of sound you're talking about. It's like you can climb into that song, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted people to feel like they were sitting on stage with me and feeling and feeling and seeing all that imagery too mean, I've been a writer my whole life. I've always written, and it's like I see the image in my head and then I describe the image to you. But I'm describing it with emotion as well as part of my toolbox. Um, each verse is for one of my grandparents, and they were all characters, all artists. So
Hmm.
it wasn't that hard to write about them. And so really, I just went through my mind, and the brightest memories are what I'm describing to you throughout the song. And I always imagine that they're with me in the backyard of my mind. They're always with me. And they live there with me, and it makes me feel like I'm never alone, you know, and like my family's always with me. Yeah. That's the
Oh,
real inspiration, was to immortalize their spirits and keep them with me forever.
yeah, what a great gift to have that and be able to do that. And that you just got them around all the time. Jackson Square, that gets a shout out in the song. What's the catalyst behind that name check?
Yes. Um, well, you know, that's my grandmother, Rosemary, and she was a painter. And she would go down to Jackson Square and she would sit with the other painters and paint portraits of people. I always thought that was amazing about her. Um, you know, she actually had Alzheimer's for 15 years. And it was so hard to see someone so vital, because she would go out dancing every night. She was just, you know, wild and fun artist and painter. And after she declined, it was just so hard to see that happen to someone like that you love like that so deeply, and you want to be close to them. So this song is also an homage to her, because I'm describing her to you in her vibrant state, you know, and that vibrance of her being, you know, incandescent and perfect, and just like in my mind before the disease got her, when she was, you know, fully and completely aware. And so I've immortalized that moment for myself, because that's how I want to remember my grandma. I want to remember her, you know, before she was taken down by Alzheimer's.
Oh, horrible. Alzheimer's is just, yeah, it's just the worst. It really is. It's a very, very long goodbye. I'm sure that,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. So, a great video for this. Who directed this video of a couple remembering the days past? And where was this shot?
Oh wow, this is kind of wild. That is found footage. It from a videographer who I think she's I want to say in Africa somewhere, that my producer found, and she's really great. And so you send her, you know, the music, and you send her the idea, and then you send her, you know, different photos and whatever, and that's what she came up with. And I was blown away. I was like, wow. I mean, it looks like it was written and directed for this song, and I just can't believe it. So I mean, she did pay the rent too. It just got finished, that video. She did a great job on that too. She just knows how to
The rent. Yeah.
transform it, like bring that visual. So I'm excited, and you know, and it's exactly what the song needed. I mean, it's so exciting when it turns out exactly what you want. That's all you could ever ask for.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So you drawing a lot on your New Orleans jazz roots. You're still like kind of feeling that vibe. Does that come back to you? Even though you might be in Colorado, you feel that at times.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge jazz fan. I've got all kinds of crazy plans. I mean, if you know me, you know I've always got crazy plans. What's going to be
So
next?
fun.
But I'm gonna definitely be playing in a jazz band and singing in a jazz band at some point. And who knows who else? I'm gonna just be singing with everybody, because I'm excited to be back here and to be surrounded by all these artists, and people want to write with me and play with me. I'm like, yes, I'm in. So it's gonna be a big giant gumbo of music, jazz in there for sure.
Yeah, a gumbo. Oh, I could taste that, a gumbo, a jambalaya. Oh, that's just, yeah. Gosh, if I was in New Orleans all the time, I'd be eating all the time. It's just, you can never go hungry.
Oh yeah. Or you call it the New Orleans 10. Every time you come, you're gonna gain 10 pounds. Just roll with it. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, yeah, it's irresistible. But then there are people who are just fuddy duddies and don't like that spicy stuff. But God, I love the spicy stuff. It's great.
Oh, me too. Oh goodness. If you come visit, there's actually a store that has so many hot sauces, you wouldn't believe it. I mean, rows and rows, hundreds of hot sauces. I mean, how can these many hot sauces exist? I don't know, but they do. In New Orleans, you can find them.
Wow. So yeah, and pay the rent. You wrote that in a New Orleans shotgun house. That's as the story goes.
Yeah, yes, it was this little tiny shotgun house. I tell you, I think my rent was like, it was cheap. It was like $350 or something like that. And it was a little tiny little spot. And it was right by Jazz Fest, actually, in between Jazz Fest and the Whole Foods. It was like perfect spot in
Oh,
Mid City. Yeah.
how inspirational.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
So in your back catalog is now, did you record Down the Rio as a solo artist? Where do some of these other songs come from that I've stumbled upon that are out in the interwebs there?
Well, Down the Rio, I did record with another crew in Boston. I thought I was gonna go that way, but I ended up doing the whole album at Dockside. I have a previous album that I did as a solo artist, and it's called Through the Matter. And I have tons of songs on that too that you'll stumble upon, that are really beautiful, and maybe someday I might redo them. I don't know. We'll see. But I write a lot. I'm very prolific. So there's a lot of songs I need to get out before I leave the planet. So I'm working on getting them all out.
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to just in your notebooks, they'll get lost in there somewhere. So you need to really get them out there. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Did you
for
do a,
real.
yeah, I saw something about a crowdfunding for that album. Did that end up helping
That
the project?
that that did help. The crowdfunding did help, and that did help me get through, I think help pay for like the first session at Dockside, which was great. What I was really really moved by was the people that donated. One of them was a previous patient of mine, because I was a hearing specialist. A previous patient, I fit people with hearing aids, and I took care of them for years. And this family, I fit their mother, and they were having a really hard struggle. And then we just became friends, and they donated the most. And I was like, thank you so much. I mean, you really didn't have to. And they're like, yeah, we did, because you took care of us. We want to take care of you. And that was I think that was the best part of the whole that whole funding thing, for real, is to know that, to be told that and feel
Yeah.
good about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Having that support that's a huge thing. That's what launched you in the first place, are people saying, hey, you can do this. And it just gives you that great feeling. So yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
um, going on to, you did another album, and a song that really stuck out in my mind is called Marrow of Life. What was the background behind that?
Yes. um that was also in that same period that I wrote Pay the Rent, the original one, because I was just so frustrated of being in so many bands and trying to make it, like, just trying to get my music out there for so long. And that's what Marrow of Life is, that you're kicking and you're screaming, and you're scraping at that marrow of life to be heard, to be understood, and that's really where I was going with it. And I tell you, I love playing that song till to this day, and I'm playing it at the show on the 28th. And at Carrollton Station, I said already, but
Yeah.
um, I'm excited, especially for that song, because that's how I'm ending the show. Because whenever I play it with a new crew, they tear it up. It's such a great rhythm, and it's blues, and you get down in it. It's gritty, really gets in your soul.
So who else is in Liquid Animal? It sounds like you have a great band together there.
Yeah, Eddie Christmas is my drummer. And then I just got a new guitarist. We just switched someone out, so I'll have to get back to you on who that ended up being. But then also Raja is on guitar. I'm sorry, a new bass player. So it's like new players going in and out for this gig for me to figure out who's gonna stick. So it's gonna be a bit. And like I said, collective. So if somebody's got to go on tour or whatever,
Uh,
then we pull somebody else in. It's like a big family of musicians that I'm so blessed to be a part of, because if one person can't make your show, which with COVID, someone can get sick in a heartbeat, and you need to be able to switch people out. You need to be ready for that move. So, I mean, making an artist collective, there's a lot of people in it. James Dumb is my guitarist who also helped produce on the album. He's from Denver. And then my bass player from Denver is Jorge Angelini, and he's helped me so much. He's been so supportive. So, and Joe Michaels is my music producer, and Leanne Broussard is my manager.
hey, Lou.
Um,
She made all this happen, by the way. There's a shout out. I'm doing this live at the moment. I don't know if she's able to hit that link or not. Tells people to go to my website. The thing is, though, I don't think this is streaming at the same time on my website. That's why I gave that link. So hopefully folks are hearing us now. This should post very quickly, though. Anywho, another song that really sticks in my
nice.
mind. You wrote a song for your daughter. Do you play that one live? It's called, is that Relinquish?
Yes. Oh my goodness. And actually that's ironic because I just came up with the idea of what to do for the video. And we're shooting for the Grammys, and that is the song. It's really is a blues song. So you can really put it in a genre, and there it is. Yes, I wrote that. My daughter is really beautiful, intelligent, and I was like, it's time for me to pass the torch, like she's the young one and I'm the mom. And so I'm really passing on my beauty, my intelligence, my vibrance, my glow. When I say my glow, and I mean, I'm saying, this is yours, I've given all this to you, and this is who I am, and now it's who you are. And so it's about passing that torch, and that's exactly what the video is going to be about, is showing the meaning. And it's such a gorgeous tune. It came out so amazing at Dockside. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to actually master it in Atmos too, because it's one of those songs you want to crawl inside of, and I'm excited. I'm excited to release that one. It's going to be so great.
Yeah, beautiful. It really does stick out. So that's when you're getting personal though, and for some artists that's tough, but when you get personal though, you write what you know, and it's all the better. And that's how it becomes a Grammy Award winning material, I would believe.
Well, let's hope so.
Fingers crossed.
It's I just yeah, right. I honestly feel finally, after all these years of being a singer and a writer, I finally feel complete as a writer.
Yeah.
Writing credit on that album came from me. It's my best writing. It's there. I feel like I'm already Grammy. I wish, and that would be great too, for everybody around me. For sure.
Yeah.
And I can hand it over to the kid.
Really. So as far as, are you just playing
Yeah.
Louisiana, Colorado? Are you going to be touring more extensively, doing more live shows? COVID permitting.
Oh, definitely. So there'll be live shows in Colorado. There'll be live shows here. And we're booking a tour right now around Louisiana. So we'll start there, and then we'll, spread out, see where we end up. But yes, that's the plan, is to get the band super tight and ready to go on the road. Because that's where you really get the experience you need. So I'm really excited to get there, to get to that place where you feel like you can just get up there and do it over and over and over. And you know, it's in your bones, every bone you've got. So I'm excited for that feeling, what that's going to be like.
Yeah. Yeah. How do rehearsals go? Do you have to do a lot, or you're just all pros? You don't need too much rehearsing.
Wait, I don't want to brag or nothing, but usually we only get to rehearse a couple of times. So yeah, I find that really amazing. I play with, like, you know, total professionals that can just play anything. So that's very helpful. Um, but I'm excited because we're gonna have to practice a lot for tour. So then we'll be the most rehearsed we've ever been, and that's gonna be really exciting. That's when we can really break open the other things and become even better, which is always the goal. Become better and better and better.
Yeah. That's it. Well, sometimes you don't want to overthink it either, though, because some people are just too over rehearsed. There's probably like a happy medium, I'm sure.
There is. And you never know really when you're in the happy medium. You're just always trying to be in it.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Did you ever
Yeah.
get to?
We're
Did you
always
ever
trying
get?
to be in the pocket.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever get to tour New Zealand and Australia? Were you planning on that?
Oh, well, I did in beginning of 2020, actually, before lockdown. I did get to do a little mini tour in New Zealand. I did 5 different places. I played the North Island and the South Island, so I really got to see New Zealand. And I did like a show for just women, and I had young ladies come and they played too. And actually, one of them is really making it right now. We've stayed friends, and we've been talking about her coming over here and playing. So that's the plan, is to have my New Zealand girlfriends come over here, and I'll go back over there too, because it's unbelievably gorgeous. Have you been? It's so
No, I'd
amazing.
love to. I would love. That's why I was so interested. I was like, I saw that, in your bio. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's
Yes.
gorgeous.
Go to the glowworm caves. You will not regret it. That was the most magical thing I've ever seen. It's just unbelievable.
Wow, wow, very good.
Yeah.
Well, best wishes on everything. Again, where can we find everything? Your YouTube, Instagram, all that. All Liquid Animal.
Exactly. All Liquid Animal, and Bent River Records is my record label under Joe Michaels. So that's where you're going to be able to find every single thing you could want.
Excellent. Well, a pleasure speaking with you. Liquid Animals out there on tour. New material, look for them on Apple Podcasts or wherever. I mean, no, not Apple Podcasts, is where I'm at. Apple Music, because if you go to Apple Music, would you be on Amazon Music as well? I guess any digital formats.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. You can find me on Amazon.
Yeah,
Just like everything else.
yeah, everything's through Amazon. It's like,
Right?
yeah, that's where I get a lot of my music. Amazon, it's just so easy, probably too easy. Um,
Yeah.
you can
Easy's
download
good.
them. Do you burn CDs as well? And are you on vinyl?
Yes. Uh, yes, I'm going to do CDs, but also I'm going to get to do vinyl, which I've never done. I'm so excited to have it on vinyl. So it'll be out in stores. You'll be able to find it at Walmart. It's going to be all over the place.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
really record stores. We're going to have to like scratch it.
That's so cool. And I love the artwork. You have some amazing artwork that's coming with the package. Local artists.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Actually, my daughter's father is an artist, Jonathan Root, and he's amazing. He's done our logo. He's done the album cover, and then we have some other artists that are working on it too. So we'll see, how many of them end up doing the actual art on the album. But I'm so impressed with it already.
Nice. Well, it sounds awesome. Hope to see you one day.
Thank
That would be
you.
awesome. You have a
Yes, you will.
great time. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you. All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye bye.